The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Game Podcast Network is brought to you by Fantasy. Sign up with the promo code MLB SGPN to get a $1,000 bonus credit. We're also about to Edge Boost. Get us $50 per month against rewards by using the Edge Boost link, edgeboost.bet, with the promo code SGPN. And welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Game Podcast Network. It is currently time for the Wednesday prop show. As you know, we do a prop show 3 times a week. We're going to aim for Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But it's Wednesday, April 2nd. It is around 10 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm Roast Episode Scott Reichel, joined by Adam Rosenberg. And together, we're going to break down our 3 favorite props each for the Wednesday card. A lot of games, a lot of day games. Hopefully, you tune in live or catch it quickly, because some of these games, once again, are going to be starting sooner than you think. But Adam, how's it going with you? How do you enjoy your April Fool's Day?
Pretty good. No one got me on social media. None of those brands doing their fun things.
Are your kids too young to appreciate an April Fool's joke, or are they there yet?
Yeah, they probably are. My kids are too young for that, but my nephews, it was their birthday, and then today's my mom's birthday, so it's just sort of like just another thing for us. Look, man, I'm just trying to get to Easter and Passover, get to non-35 degree weather. So.
Yeah, I was never a big April Fool's guy, with the exception of one item: the whoopee cushion. It's a classic staple. It's a staple. Yeah, can't go wrong with that.
I used to leave when I worked in different offices. I would say, oh, you got a message from like Ellie Font, and it was like the number for the zoo.
Nice.
It still plays.
That's a good one. Okay. All right.
So.
Either way, point is, though, April Fool's officially over. So yes, these plays are real. But I know last episode, unfortunately, we keep getting hooked on the underdog entry. We went 2-1 again on that. Ended up losing with Quan. We had easy pitching winners there. We had Bryant not to get a hit, and Bryant was atrocious. And I think he got listed in that game. But unfortunately, Quan no-showed the game. He went 0-for, and we picked up a loss on the underdog entry. But I went 2-for-1. I know you had a good episode too. So hopefully we'll keep it rolling here for the Wednesday card. Do you want to quickly, though, touch upon something that actually happened?
Yeah, we did great. Estes, as I will call him now, did walk the first batter of the game.
Yes, he did, and then he walked 4 guys. It was a mess. Yeah. They gave up 18 runs in that game. But I do want to ask you, though, because there was some, I'd say, breaking MLB news this morning, and I know that you believe in this massive conspiracy that's going to happen in a couple years. Jackson Merrill signed an extension for about $135 million for 9 years. He's worth a lot more than $15 million per year. Yes, but you believe this is part of a larger league-wide conspiracy. So I'll let you elaborate on that first.
It's not a league-wide conspiracy, but like there's a Padres owner who is very frugal. We're not going to go down all these economics things, but he's very frugal, and I'm sure would not be giving out this extension if he really thought that they were going to not have a collective bargaining lockout in about 18 months. So look, there are 2 things here at play. Kid got a bag. Gave up years of arbitration where he would have gotten 20 per year. So whatever, that's his own math. But this is just like the J-Ram deal, that when he took like way under market to stay in Cleveland, he's going to be in Cleveland until 2029. Jackson Merrill is going to be making very mid-market money for a guy who arguably could have an MVP ceiling, and for sure in arbitration would be getting 20 mil a year. Absolutely.
I mean, you can make an argument that he could be worth, by the right suitor, 25, 30 million per year.
Easily. Look how much Santander got from the Jays.
Yeah, reminder, though, he was also runner-up for Rookie of the Year. Some people thought he should have won that award last year. I'm not one of those people, but he had a great season. And the point is, though, he was definitely up there. And
I'm right here, Scott. Young. Tag me.
Just saying either way. But good deal for the Padres. I mean, $15 million per year for 9 years. I know you're mentioning stuff down the road 18 months from now, which could be a thing, but it's a great bargain deal.
Yeah, I think it also means that it's also meant to put pressure on Cease and King.
Yeah, definitely true.
Because they're basically now you have Xander, Tatis, Machado, and Merrill are all locked up on that team.
Damn, that Xander deal is going to be horrible.
The Xander deal is going to age terribly, but neither here nor there. Now you have 2 guys who they're like probably they really don't want to pay. So I don't know, whatever. People don't need to hear me wax about how there's going to be a lockout, but look, there might not be a lockout. The new head of the MLBPA is kind of spineless, so he might be like, "Yep, we'll take that deal." And I don't know, but big picture, good for Jackson Merrill. Get your bag.
I imagine a ton of that money's guaranteed. That's all I'm going to say.
It is, but if they don't, but if they lock them out, it is not.
Oh no, I get it. I'm just saying when you're looking at like what it could have been,
guaranteed deal as long as they play. But I do not believe I am. If I can go onto one of those prediction market things and bet it, I will bet that there is at least that there is. We're not going to see after next season.
There will be some type of work stoppage at some point.
Yes, there will be a work stoppage.
Either way, point is good morning for the Padres fans. That's my point.
Very good morning for the Padres. Yeah.
But before I get into any of the actual props that we have for the Wednesday card, I want to quickly remind everybody that you should not be paying for any paid Discord servers because the SGPN one's free. So if you want to check out some free picks, a lot of DGen action, don't forget to check out the SGPN Discord server, which is, once again, completely free. Hang out with the guys breaking down all the DGen action. We have different channels for sports. We have MLB, we have NBA, tennis, which is basically me and a bunch of DGens just live betting and betting on stuff. But if you want to head over...
who does WTA still in there?
Yes, Jong is still around.
Jong's the best.
Jong is still around. But either way, you can head over to the link, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. Once again, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord for access to the free SGPN Discord server. Anyway, starting off with the first prop for the Wednesday card. Adam, I'll let you go first because that's been working for us so far. So what's your first option you have for the player props? I
was going to bring this up, but look, finding the stats on, but Zach Eflin under 5.5 hits allowed. There's a lot of ways that I think that this happens. First of all, he's been very good against the Red Sox in general. He had 5 against the only gave a 5 against them last summer. If you look then at splits like Devers, Roman Gonzalez, David Hamilton, Jalen Duran, Ref Snyder, who probably won't play, but whatever. A lot of these guys have higher than 40% K rates against Eflin. He's just got a lot of history against his team. He was 2-0 against them last year. Another way that I do think that this kind of, gets there is the fact that Baltimore was off yesterday. So everybody is rested in that bullpen. If he gets into a little trouble, 6 hits is really high to give up. And it's, if, let's say he gives up 5 or he starts to kind of struggle around there, I think he could get pulled and they go to their bullpen, especially since they're off day. So give me Zach Eflin under 5.5 hits allowed to these Boston Red Sox.
Well, yeah, one other thing that we should mention about the Red Sox is that they were hyped up a lot this season. I still, of course, think they're going to be fine in the long term, but the lineup has been underachieving. So if you are intimidated by, the overall lineup or you're wondering why the hits line seems a bit high, it could just be the market still giving Boston a lot of respect when they haven't really earned any of it so far this season. So that could be another
24% K rate against right-handed pitching, a WRC plus still of 105, an OPS of 747 against right-handed pitching.
It could be worse though. They could be the Braves. So something.
Let me see if the Braves are even worse.
I have to imagine they are. They scored 1 run the last 38 innings. I got
against righties. They're actually they're slightly worse. Their K rate's actually better.
Okay, so something to keep in mind there. For my first play, I'm actually going to go with the same game, but I am going to go with a hits prop. I'm going to go with Connor Wong. I'm going to take the under half a hit at plus 135. So, fun fact, he had a leadoff single to start the season. Has not gotten a hit since. He is actually 0 for in his last 16 plate appearances. And he's been really bad against Eflin in his career. He's 0 for 8 lifetime against Eflin. So it kind of goes hand in hand with your play. You like Eflin to not give up a ton of hits anyway. He'll give up some contact because that's what Eflin does. But I think Wong, who once again has no hits in 16 straight at bats, or plate appearances, including walks, and he's batting in the bottom of the lineup. He's batting, I think it's, what is he batting, like 63 at this point? I think he's batting 63, like .063.
0.063. It's funny. So he's a batting average of .063, but an expected batting average of 304. But his BABIP, which is nerd for batted balls in play, is awful. It's 0.091. So this is a guy who's topping off the ball and not doing well. He's got 5. He's got a 30% K rate.
Yeah. Point is though is that he's bad against Eflin and he has not been making solid contact with the ball.
He's not making good contact.
I like the
actually he has 2 barrels. Price. He basically is either going to go 0 for 4 or he's going to hit a home run.
Yeah, pretty much. Point is, though, I'll take that chance at plus 135, looking at a guy who has really just not looked the part, and I think it's a good price. What's your second favorite prop for the card?
My second favorite, I'm just looking. I got lost on Connor Wong box scores. My second favorite prop is Hunter Green over 6.5 strikeouts. So you probably hear this a lot on paid discords and on Twitter but exceptional analysis of too low. This is too low. So Hunter Green, he had 8 versus San Francisco on opening day. And this Rangers team isn't really hitting the ball that well. They're not, the top of their lineup doesn't cave, but the middle and the bottom of their lineup really does. Green is over this in 5 of his last 6 at home. He's a solid history against this team overall. You're getting virtually even money for him to have 7 Ks. I also, just generally speaking, based on yesterday, and how things went, I always like to look at who's the probables tomorrow and things and how things are going. They had a tight game yesterday. Hunter Green was kind of up and down on his first start, but I just still think that I think he's going to probably go some distance so that you can mix and match this with getting the win. But I do like him to deal and get at least 7 Ks.
Yeah, so I was trying to time out the ad read to be directly in the middle of all 6 picks. So we have 3 right now. So I'm going to keep people on a cliffhanger. We are brought to you by our sponsor, Edge Boost, because they are the premier debit card for bettors. A reminder, you could use the card to avoid being hassled by having your card denied at the Sportsbook DFS site. So that will not happen. Your card will not be denied if you do use the Edge Boost card. Plus, they have a ton of cashback rewards, $70 per month cashback rewards by using the Edge Boost card. A reminder, you could also use it because there are no credit checks. It's completely free. And a reminder, sign up today, edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by MyBookie, because MyBookie.ag is the place to bet on every sport.
Who's bookie?
MyBookie.
I'm going to say that every single ad read.
That's fine. It's a reminder, though, they also have the Crown College basketball game. So if you wanted to bet on, 15 and 19 Butler now, because they won the first game, you can, because they're still in the tournament. So something to keep in mind. Unfortunately, DePaul did lose, but Georgetown's alive, so you can still bet on Georgetown games, I guess.
It's just the bottom of the Big East that's in this tournament.
Truth is, you have a couple teams like Boise who actually had good records, and then you had a couple teams that were under 500. Like Arizona State was like 14 and 19, and they were in it. Butler was in it. 16 and 16. Utah was in it. I really don't know what the criteria was, but you got a trip to Vegas, so that counts for something, I guess. Even though I'm sure a lot of the players are underage, but you can still have fun in Vegas.
That's also very true.
Just saying. A point is, though, you could also get props in every game. MyBookie has a ton of locations that you can access it from. So a reminder that you can also use it if your state doesn't actually have legalized betting yet. A reminder, you can also use a deposit and get lightning fast payouts with crypto. You can also head to MyBookie.ag with the promo code SGPN for 100% odds of match up to $1,000. That's MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Left all of you on a cliffhanger last time out to get into my second player prop. Coincidentally, we have the same player, but a different prop. I went with Hunter Green as well, but I took his under 1.5 walks at -105. For a guy that strikes out a lot of guys, Green really doesn't walk many guys. He had some command issues early in his career, then he kind of settled in the back half of last year. Had that crazy run for like 2 months where he had like a 0.3 ERA. It was something insane, but his command randomly just fell in line. And you're looking at his numbers recently, he's had less than 2 walks in 4 straight home games, and the Rangers have been really bad at actually working walks, pretty undisciplined at the plate. They are averaging just 2 walks per game, which is the second fewest in the entire league. Green might go distance, which is a bit concerning, but you're looking at the walk numbers for Texas. They're abysmal. You're looking at Green's walk numbers at home. They're solid. I think 1.5 at -105 is a very good price for a guy that does not walk as many guys as you might think. Green sometimes has a home run issue. I'm fine with that. You give up 3 home runs in the first inning. I don't give a damn. Point is, though, just don't throw 4 balls. I'm fine with it. So give me Hunter Green under the 1.5 walks here at -105. You have any thoughts on that one?
Nope. I like it. He's kind of like he's like a Sonny Gray. He'll give up, like, he might give up 4, but he'll still workhorse it. I think the best thing Hunter Green did was that he added a changeup.
Pretty much.
And I think he'll be fine. I think
there's really one thing that you need. There's one. I mean, sorry to interrupt. I mean, it's one thing you need in general when you have the 100-mile-an-hour fastball that you can go to. You do have to switch up some speeds, and I feel like that's what hurt Green earlier in his career, because you just knew that he basically had 2 pitches. And if you could sit on the right one, you were going to hit it a long way. The changeup really did help him out, and I do think Texas is going to struggle working walks into this matchup. So, Adam, what is your last player prop for the Wednesday card?
I'm just looking at that game also, and if someone wants, like, could he still, like, not, who could he give something up to? I think he's probably, I think he's giving up a home run to Dolis Garcia. Anyway, that neither here nor there. My favorite play too. This is locked everything. Zach Wheeler over 18.5 outs, minus 110, minus 105, whatever you find it at. Cap on this is pretty simple to me. Taijuan Walker is pitching tomorrow for the Phillies.
He's still in the league.
Not good at baseball. Yes, he's still in the league.
I thought he'd be in literal Taiwan by now.
They're paying him like 16 mil.
That's
paying actually more, paying him almost as much as Jackson Merrill gets. But anyway, so they're going to need the bullpen tomorrow. They're also off an off day. Wheeler is kind of one of those bigger workhorses in this sense. He's gone over this. I mean, I can pull it up if people care, but this really gets down to, look, he's over this in dating back to last year in 4 of his last 5 starts. If you go back to early in the season last year, he went over it twice in his first 3 home starts. But again, the big thing for me here is that he's off an extra rest day, which he does well, and he's very rare on that one. Tomorrow, they're going to need to have the bullpen for Taijuan for Walker, and then they don't have any off days till Tuesday, and then Wheeler takes his turn in the rotation on Wednesday. So Wheeler effectively is going to have a book-ended extra rest, so he could just go let loose, and I think that's what they're going to do, knowing that they have this stretch of 4 or 5 days where one of those guys is going to need a little bit of help.
Yeah, so I do want to ask you on a side note, because I'm distracted by the fact Taijuan Walker is still on a major league team. I know you mentioned the money he's getting paid. Who do you think is, I'd say, less deserving of a roster spot in 2025? Taijuan Walker or Carlos Carrasco?
Taijuan Walker.
Because Carrasco's in the Yankees bullpen randomly, and I find that kind of...
No, he's starting. He's spot starting for them.
I was going to say spot starting, but I know he came out of the bullpen in one of the games.
Cookie had a good end of the year last year. He's also a former Philly prospect. I like him. Cy Young winner, right? I think it was it. Yeah, didn't he win a Cy Young?
I don't know if he won a Cy Young, but I know he was I think he was a finalist one time. Then again, Rick
finalist, like when the Indians or Guardians, whatever you want to call them.
You can say Indians. There's Indians back then. You can say Indians. That's what they were back then.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't say that. You don't say Riggins was a former Commanders player. You say that he was a Redskins player. I mean,
that's also true.
It's all time period based. But
I
don't think he won a Cy Young.
I swore he won it. But I don't know.
I feel like I would know that. I know Rick Porcello won it, and people kind of like make jokes about that, but I don't think Carrasco ever won one.
I think he was a finalist. I think you're right.
Finalist sounds about right.
Yeah, it does sound right. Oh man, look at this. He had 15 wins in 22, 17 in 2018. He kind of dominated during the 10s. He was great.
Yeah, no, he was good.
Good for him.
Then again, the Guardians-Indians have always found ways to have a solid rotation for a while.
Yeah, no, he was futures game selection. He's good. We're in. We're comeback player of the year. You won comeback player of the year twice.
That was post-cancer, right?
Yeah.
For one of them.
I don't know how you pull that off, but I guess that's how. Clemente Award winner. He went out. He's gotten all of it, dude. Good for Cookie.
Quick side note, though. Carrasco did win comeback player of the year, comeback from cancer, but DeMar Hamlin literally died, and he lost to Joe Flacco.
That's my favorite joke.
Yeah.
Is that
just throwing it out there. Anytime you can, he literally died.
What would Jesus's odds be in the NFL comeback player? Joe Flacco would still end up beating Jesus, is basically what I
To be fair, I mean, the voters decided that reaching the playoffs of the Cleveland Browns was more impressive than coming back to life on an NFL field. So
I guess so.
There you go. But anyway, for my last prop on the actual Wednesday card, I'm going to go with another hits prop. I'm going to go with a batter, actually. And I'm going to go with a guy that I know we didn't exactly like that much last year, but he's been good so far this season. I'm going to go with Victor Scott. I'm going to go with his over half a hit at minus 129. Okay. He's randomly been really good so far this season. I know that he's batting in the back end of the lineup, but I'm not a big Kikuchi guy anyway. But you're looking at his numbers this season. He's had at least 1 hit in 4 straight, at least 2 hits in 3 of the last 4. He's been phenomenal so far this season. A minus 129 does feel very cheap. Kikuchi does strike out some guys, but he does give up contact as well. It's why he's bounced around a bunch of different teams. Toronto, Houston, now he's on a bad Angels team. I think it's a good overall price for a guy, once again, with multiple hits in 3 of the last 4 games and a hit at least in 4 straight. Minus 129, he's got speed. Maybe he'll get an infield single. I know we lose all our unders on infield singles, so why not? I'll go with the over.
So many
over the last year or so on the infield singles, but I'm going Victor Scott over. I think that he's still once again, a batter that has some potential. And it seems like early on he's starting to realize that potential. So give me Victor Scott over half a hit at minus 129. On the bright side, I'm not taking Mason Wynn, so it could be worse, I guess, for me back in
He
Cardinals
cashed
guys.
for us the other night of having no hits.
Who, Wynn? Yeah, I know, because he can't hit.
He's terrible.
But I'm saying Victor Scott's actually been pretty good, so I'll back him in the spot.
Yeah, no, I like it. I was actually also looking at this game because there are, if you are on the blue book, there is a boost for home runs, and I like Nolan Arenado. I was looking for a.
You can say it, by the way. We're not sponsored by DraftKings anymore.
I know, so I don't say it. Well, I just still. They don't look any of these guys. I'm not gonna say. I'll say blue book. I'll say green book.
Okay.
I'll say. All right, that's fine.
I always just say the name of the book. I just don't care enough, I guess.
Oh well, I don't know. I mean, you're full time. It's different.
Brag about brag about the play you got on the blue book yesterday.
Oh, I got a really nice what the Jordan Walker home run.
Talk about the Cardinals, so you have a time to plug it.
What's that? Yeah, well, that's what I'm doing. I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Nolan Arenado to hit a home run. I think that's going to be what I'm going to use the home run boost for, because I want somebody against a lefty on that team, and Nolan Arenado, who's like 90 years old, is that guy.
And what price did you get on Walker yesterday?
12-1.
12-1 with the boost.
12-1.
It's a hell of a home run boost right there.
Yeah, nice little $10 into 1.2.
Nice. I don't remember if you told me you were taking that or if I slept through it.
You slept through it.
Good. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I missed out on a 12-1 shot because I was sleeping. So something to keep in mind.
That's fine. I'm only doing home runs on boosts right now because, look, it's hitting like I see Brandon Porter in the chat. It's not hitting weather for me for a couple weeks. We've also been cooking on pitcher stuff. So
we had a first 7-run line yesterday.
Oh, dude,
we're just making stuff up and it's working out.
Yeah. We also lost a first three, like right away. It was just
Senga didn't have it yesterday.
Yeah, neither did Sandy.
Yeah, pretty much.
So anyway,
Lindor stole a base though. I plugged that. That was like plus 290.
Day late, dollar short on that one.
Yeah, but either way, point is though that's going to wrap it up for our 6 player props. Adam, just remind everybody once again what your 3 props are for the show.
Zach Eflin, under 5.5 hits allowed. Hunter Green over 6.5 Ks, and Zach Wheeler over 18.5 outs. The Zach Wheeler outs, if you're like, I can only do 1 play, which is fine. Like, that's my favorite one.
Yeah. So as for mine, we had some overlap just by coincidence. I am going to go with Connor Wong under half a hit at plus 135. I'm going to go with Hunter Green as well, but I'm going to go with the under 1.5 walks at minus 105. And I am going to go with Victor Scott over 2.5 hits at minus 129. Anyway, before we get into the actual underdog entry and our best bets for the show, want to remind you once again that we are brought to you by Underdog Fantasy because they have a great pick'em, and you can definitely use that for any sport. You can mix and match your sports. If you want to go for tennis, you want to go for baseball, college basketball, you only have 3 games left for the season. You can still use those games for your entry. NBA, NHL, you want to bet on look at Ovi to score a lot of goals. You can potentially do that as he tries to
be like us, where we fade it, where we have it as a parlay leg for him to not do it because we're haters.
Yeah, pretty much. We got a good price on it, and as far as I'm concerned, we'll see what happens.
I agree.
Either way, though, when you do want to try out Underdog, you can use the promo code MLB SGPN when you sign up for a new account to claim a special first-time deposit offer up to 1K bonus cash. Fantasy promo code MLB SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm, because Rhythm is the home for picks and props. They're also now live on Major League Baseball. So if you do want some actual projections, you want to build a model, or you can use the Rhythm AI pick section, and they'll give you props immediately. So, Adam, I'm going to ask you, do you have one prop from Rhythm that you kind of like by looking at it?
I'm looking through now because this just came up yesterday, so I've been playing with it. So they went 8-0 on singles props, which is like super degen. I like
single right in the middle.
Yeah, well, let me just see if it's on. If that's on here, I think we want Ernie Clement. It's saying we want Ernie Clement, no single. Oh, we can't do the single in here. Let me keep looking.
I mean, it doesn't have to be for the underdog. We can just
but I think it's better for the underdog because then if it loses, we can just blame a robot.
No, I get it. I'm just saying you can blame a robot for a random prop losing too if you want to.
I'll do it all the time. Okay, so it really likes. You know what it likes? It likes. It really likes Trey Turner to not have a hit, which I think you and I can actually kind of get behind.
Okay.
Because have under 2.5 hits or under 1.5 hits. It really likes that. So I'm going to take that for us. That's going to be one leg. It's actually a better price on underdog than it is.
And Freeland's pitching, right?
Who's that?
Freeland's pitching.
Freeland, yeah, Freeland's pretty good.
Yeah,
and Trey Turner's been hurt. So yeah, we're gonna take that as a leg in this, and I like it a lot. Let me see if there's any other. This is brand new, guys, so we're just getting to play around. It's got home runs in here. It's got pitching.
They had to, the robot had to cut the red tape on the grand opening.
Oh, okay. Here's one. I don't know if I agree with this, but this is fun. Okay, it likes. This is sharp. I'm not doing that one. Blake Snell under 7.5 strikeouts against the Braves.
He only had 2 in the first game of the season, I think.
Yeah, so actually, let's do that instead.
I mean, he went 5 innings, so I am curious how stretched
He's
out
not
the
a
arm
really
is.
good start of the season guy.
No.
Like if you look at him, I'll pull him up, but
He's also a high pitch count guy usually. Like he'll burn through a lot of pitches by walking guys.
Yeah, let me look at him. Okay, so he didn't go over. So last year, he didn't get to 8 Ks until July.
Yeah. I
So
mean, to be fair, he
let's
also skipped spring training last year, so that also was a factor. But yes.
Yeah, I know, but I like my version better.
Yeah, I agree. He's on the IL too, so there were some other like side plots going on. But yes,
this is a really good play for us, given that he has last year he had a 15K per 9 against the Atlanta.
Yeah, why would you not want to back the Braves off?
He had 11 Ks.
You know? But anyway, so
let's do it.
We'll revisit one of those in a second for the unlocked entry, but I do want to finish the read first.
Yeah,
reminder that if you don't want to try it out for free for a week, you could use the link sportsgamblingpodcast.com through them for a 7-day free trial. The sportsgamblingpodcast.com /RATHMM. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished giving out our 3 favorite props each for the Wednesday card. Now it's time for our best bets. Out of all the props that you gave out, you said you liked Wheeler the most, but I'll let you just say that again publicly for the record.
I like Wheeler the most.
Great. Okay, cool. So moving on to my best bet. I think I'm going to go with Victor Scott, actually, at -129. I just think at the end of the day, I like his last name. That's good enough for me.
That's cool.
I think at the end of the day,
Victor Scoot is what they call him. He steals a lot of bases too.
Yeah, that works for me too. I know.
If Mal, I see Mal in the chat, if Mal was able to say Scoot or something, like I think it'd be fun with his Newcastle on the time.
Yeah, Sam, my friend, calls me Scooter all the time, so that's close.
Yeah, I have you in my phone as Scotty Scooter, so
that's fine too. Either way, point is, I do think that Scott's got a good matchup here. I'm -129. He's had a hit once again 4 straight, at least 2 hits in 3 of the last 4. We're also not that high in Kikuchi.
No, we're not. We're not Kikuchi guys. I think he's a glorified reliever.
I think I can agree with that. He's either a glorified reliever or like a 5 on a bad rotation.
It's also like, you want to talk about it, like a lot of places wind doesn't matter, but when extreme wind happens, there's a 19-mile-per-hour wind going to left field, and he's a left-handed pitcher, so good luck.
Yeah, and Scott's got speed too, so he can beat one out on an infield single.
I mean, the Cardinals, of course, are designed with way too many left-handed bats, but I don't know.
But the point is, I do like the price and the matchup for Scott.
Yeah,
to go with him for the hit as my favorite prop on the card. Now it's time for the underdog entry for us. I know we're borrowing a robots play because we're 1 pick away every time, so hopefully they'll help us get there. Okay. So which one do you want to go with? Do you want to go with Snell?
Snell under 7.5. I like that.
Okay, so we're gonna go with it was 7.5 or 8.5.
7.5.
So we're gonna go with Snell lower. 7.5.
Lower. Sorry, yeah. I'll get it one day.
One of these days we'll get
it. Snell lower. This is fantasy picks. It's not betting.
Yeah, it's fine.
Snell lower.
It's not legal in New York, but don't worry about it. You know?
Okay, fine. Snell lower 7.5 strikeouts. That's 1. What else?
That'll be 1, and then we can choose between what else we want.
Let me see. I really liked Nolan Arenado today.
Okay. So do you want to go?
You want to go for glory?
You want to go for the home run?
Yeah.
I was gonna say bases.
We could do
probably like 1.5. We can just do bases.
Yeah, okay, we can do that. All right, so we need one more.
Do you want to keep the no-hit trend going or no? Because I gave out Wong, but
if Heston Kjerstad is in here, then I will.
Okay.
He stinks. Let me see. He is. Actually, is Gary Sanchez in here? Because he should get pulled after Crochet leaves.
Yes. And Crochet is also really, really good.
He's not on here. Oh, you know what? Somebody who we liked last night that's on here. Do you want to do? The suspense Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray.
What you want to go for the win?
His strikeouts is only 5.5.
Sure, let's do it.
Let's do that.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really good line.
You can
okay.
read off the entry again.
All right, I'll read it off. Blake Snell lower 7.5 strikeouts. Nolan Arenado higher 1.5 total bases. Sonny Gray higher 5.5 strikeouts.
Okay. There's a little bit of a same game entry there, by the way.
Yeah, so our day could be over by 2:00.
Could be. It's fine.
That's fine. Okay. This is it's a 6.24. So this is nice.
Yeah, there we go. But anyway, that's our underdog entry. Those are our picks. Reminder, we're back with the Thursday game previews later on today at 5:00. I'll be on the show with Dylan. So if you are looking for the Thursday picks, I got you covered there. Of course, if you want the Wednesday game picks, check out the episode before this one, which I was also on. So if you don't want to check that out, it was Mal and I yesterday. But anyway, Adam, let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me at Hey Rosenberg, and you can find me here 3 times a week. And in about an hour, you can find me doing some of this on Rhythm, on show sponsor Rhythm on their network stuff. And that's about it. But usually you find me with you and here because this is a majority of my time.
Yep. Besides that, you can find me on Twitter at Reichel Radio. You can find me on the NBA show, the MLB show, of course, the new MLB prop show. And you can also find me
this show,
the WNBA Gambling Podcast when it's in season. And of course, the tennis podcast. Been absolutely crushing tennis for the last couple weeks. Swept the podcast last episode. Ended up basically sweating out a match at 7 a.m. today in Morocco. So thank you to Capriva for helping me get the lock and dog there. But either way, till next time, good luck to all of you and all of your bets. Bye, everyone.